Welcome back to another episode of McBain's Legends of the Game podcast. I'm Grayson Guernsey as always, and today we're going to do an interesting episode, in my opinion. We're going to be talking about the Ramblers of Michigan. Now, most people presume that there's like maybe one or two, because we got everybody else with the Boyne City Ramblers and then the McBain Ramblers. But there's a couple other Ramblers that we are going to talk about today. But first, I'm going to just give a brief overview of the two that we probably most likely know. There's McBain and Boyne. So, Ramblers of Michigan, first of all, we got yours truly, the McBain Ramblers. We're going to be talking about football, too. We're not talking about like all these other sports, we're just talking about football. So when I start bringing up records, it's going to be football. 487 games played. They started their program in 1975, I believe. And then 305 wins, 24 playoff appearances, 6 district champions, 3 regional championships, 2 state runner-ups, and all-time winning percentage, .584. And they have had one NFL player. That is Dan Bazine. Everybody knows him. So, yeah, they're a pretty successful program. I mean, no matter who's the head coach, they're always going to be a successful program. I mean, you don't even need to have that many district titles to be considered a winning program, because we made the playoffs several times. I mean, recently, we've only missed the playoff under Coach Maloney. We've only missed the playoffs one time in 6 years, which is pretty good. So then next we have, I'm just pulling up these stuff, the Ramblers. Okay, next we have the Boyne City Ramblers. Again, everybody knows the Ramblers up north. Podcast episode coming soon. They're a Division 5 school, they're a Division 6 school, actually. 648 games played, 373 games won, including playoffs, 22 playoff appearances, 2 district titles, 2 regional titles, and 2 semifinal appearances. The years that they made semifinals was, let me look real quick. All were in the 2000s, I'm very, very sure. First one was in 2001, which they made it all the way to, again, semifinals, where they lost to the peripheral powerhouse, Lumen Christi. And then the other time they made semifinals was back in 2014, when they made it all the way to semis. And actually, in 2014 they beat Pine River in regionals. I know that doesn't really sound that right, but I'll get to a podcast episode about that team. And then they lost to Ithaca 16-20. That Boyne City team they were stacked to the brim with just people and everything like that. So they are very, very good. I'm pretty sure their running back went to Division I college. It was either Northwestern or something else. I don't know for sure. But no, he was very good. Next we have the Perry Ramblers. Now, as I was making this, I was like, whoa, who are the Perry Ramblers? But they're the same size school as us, if not a bit smaller. They used to have over 600 kids in their the entire school, but then numbers have just gone down a bit. But not a very good program. Perry Ramblers, 650 games played, 260 wins, 410 winning percentage, and 2 playoff appearances. So if we're including COVID years, then yeah, they've had 2 playoff appearances. And last year was our first ever official non-COVID playoff appearance. So they're decent. And then next we have the Fraser Ramblers. Now, Fraser Ramblers, they're actually, I've heard about them before, but I thought they didn't exist anymore. But nope, they still are up and kicking. They play at the Division II or D1 level. They have 1,448 kids in enrollment. So Fraser Ramblers, 651 games played, 289 wins. So they have a 44-1 winning percentage, 9 playoff appearances, 1 regional title, 1 semifinals appearance, and their best season was in 1993, which that would have been really cool, because I know McBain made the semifinals in 1993. Oh no, they made the state title in 1993. So, I thought it would have just been really cool if we had both McBain Ramblers and the Fraser Ramblers in the state championship in 1993, in which they lost that game to a very loaded. I think they were going against the state champion Harrison, which Harrison at that time was. This was on there in their glory years. Harrison High School, they're a dynasty. I mean, like seven finals appearances in 10 years. They're really good. And then we have. So those are the 4 still active Rambler schools, but now we're going to talk about the discontinued one or disbanded. Detroit St. Bernard's Ramblers. Now, I only have 16 years of recorded history for these guys. Since the website I was using only goes back to 1950. So I don't have that much. 110 games played, 45 wins. Playoffs did not exist at this time, so they did not play in the playoffs, but still they were a small school in Detroit. The Ironwood Catholic Ramblers. Ironwood Catholic Ramblers only had one season. Only had technically one season. Played at like 6-man their first ever year, and their total record is 1-16. The only school they've ever beaten was Well, no, actually they existed for a little bit, but their only win they ever had was in 1953 against Ewing, which they don't exist anymore. So, yeah, that was their small school. They had up to doesn't even show me how many kids they had. Okay. But that's going to be it for the McBain's Legends of the Game today. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and to catch up with all the latest of my podcast. And we'll see you in the next video.